When I was on the ground, I feared I would never get up again. After being in the hospital, I started to fear I would never walk again. And then it became, I fear I'll never walk without a limp. Then it became, what if I never dance again? And when I looked back from that to, you may not even get up off the ground, I thought, okay, there's been improvement. Even your fears have gotten a little bit better each time.
After more than 5 decades of acting and modeling, Brooke Shields was showing no signs of slowing down at the start of 2021. The 55-year-old actress and beauty icon had recently returned from a 2.5-month film shoot in Scotland. She was about to launch a brand new partnership with Colgate.
I'm so much more confident now.
And she was challenging herself with an intense 14-day fitness program designed by her personal trainer.
I just felt like everything was firing on all cylinders. And then this freak thing happened and sort of just stopped everything. I had just finished the 13th day of a 14-day transformation. That's what he calls it. So we were a day away from finishing, and I was just feeling so strong and so good. And I thought, oh, I'm just gonna do the balance board one more time. And I always like to either start or end with this balance board because everything has to sort of fire at the same time. So I did it, and I was putting it away, and this very sweet guy said, started talking to me about it, how easy I made it look. And I said, look, it took me a year to learn how to do this. And I said, here, let me show you. And it looked like I was joking. It really looked like I was doing a gag a bit, because I was talking about how there's a moment when you have to really trust and stay focused, and then your body will kick in if you've been working up to it. And I said, here's what you have to do. And I turned back and I flew up in the air and came down perfectly on the ball of the femur, the part not attached to the pelvis. And I hit at such a perfect angle with such force that I snapped my femur. And I just started screaming. Sounds came out of my system that I've never heard before. I've never screamed at the top of my lungs like that. The pain was so excruciating that it was all I could do to sort of not pass out.
Brooke was rushed to the hospital where she underwent emergency surgery.
I guess I got out of surgery at about 1 a.m. and I woke up in this room, and they showed me an x-ray, and they had put a rod going from my feet, a part of it going from the insertion of my hip, going one way, and then another rod going from the top of my hip all the way down to my knee. And it looked seamless. It looked, and everybody was very happy. And a few hours later, the same pain started happening. Excruciating pain again. And what showed in the x-ray was that the bone that had originally broken popped back out. So basically the injury was as it was when I came in there, except for I now had the rod.
Later that day, Brooke was back in surgery.
And so the second time I woke up, and they showed me this apparatus that has got pins, and it looks like I look bionic in such a way. And I kept thinking, okay, that part's done. Now what am I looking at? And I remember thinking, oh my God, what if I can't ever dance again? What if I don't actually walk? I think they quickly told me that I would walk, but it would be a very long process and it would be very hard and it would really take a lot of work. And I had to really psych myself. And instead of going down the road of why me, this isn't fair, I thought you have an absolute choice right now. This is up to you. What's your choice going to be? And whatever your particular circumstances, I think adversity reveals people. I don't think it builds character. I think it reveals character. I think how you respond, like whatever you do, whatever happens, how you respond is what defines you. And if anything, I'm a fighter because I don't like losing. I just don't like it.
After breaking her femur on January 21st, Brooke spent 2.5 weeks in the hospital before returning home. But the following day, she was diagnosed with a staph infection in her arm where her IV had been attached, which led to a third surgery and another extended stay in the hospital. Finally, in late February, Brooke was allowed to go home for good.
At about almost 4 weeks, they said, "We feel comfortable now sending you home. And your road is just about to begin." And you'll get there, but you're going to be really frustrated about how hard it is. I can't power through this, and I want to, and I can't. I can't even stand on my leg. I can't go up the step. And that feeling of helplessness was so shocking to me, to not have control of my limbs and to feel obliterating weakness. For the first time, I've always counted on my body to get up again, be strong, whatever it is, don't let it break you. And that type of survival mentality just there's no place for it here, because my muscles need to be retrained. I need to relearn how to walk.
With 2 painful physical therapy sessions a day, Brooke's long road to recovery won't be easy. But thankfully, she has the continued support of her husband, producer Chris Henchy, and their 2 daughters, 17-year-old Rowan and 14-year-old Greer.
I've got, teenagers, and they're sweet and helpful, and they want to be helpful, but I'm their mom. They don't want to see me broken, because that changes their world. So I think they're just so happy that I'm home, that now they can focus on their own lives and how I can facilitate their lives. It's really all about that. They're teenagers. Let's just cut to the chase and call it like it is. They're like, "You okay? All right, fine. You're gonna live? Great. Now, Mom, can I get that, new bathing suit?" But I had a moment, I just got tired of being strong. And I got pouty, and I got a little poor me, and I just cried, and I said, why does it have to be me? And why do I always have to be the strong one? And my husband sort of said, "Okay, are you done?" I was like, "What do you mean?" And he said, "You are strong. That's who you are. What are you going to do? Just sit down and never get up again?" He said, he goes, "Why are you even bothering with this dialogue?" I was like, "Because I wanted to feel sorry for myself for at least a minute." He's like, "Okay, are you done?" It sounds heartless, but it was actually perfect for me, for someone who's programmed the way I am. Because I needed to do it and pout and cry, and it took maybe 10 minutes. And then I thought, okay, I'm done.
No one could blame Brooke for needing a moment after what she's already been through in 2021. A broken femur, nearly a month in the hospital, 3 surgeries, 3 blood transfusions, a bacterial infection, and the insertion of 2 rods and 5 screws. But somehow, Brooke has remained positive and even found a way to learn from the experience.
I've learned that now's the time to not allow fear to stop you. I spent so much time by myself in that hospital, and I was able to look out the window and see the city I was born and raised in and all the memories that come with that, and not having either one of my parents alive. And after sitting there in that hospital room for so long and just itching to get out, I thought, what are you gonna do when you get out? Oh, well, now I've got the whole rest of my life ahead of me. Gotta get this healing thing done. Okay. And it just became this, I became sort of more ambitious for myself. I became less interested in spending any unnecessary time with anybody that I didn't want to be with, or for anybody that I didn't think deserved it, or doing anything I didn't want to do. and just sort of thinking, if not now, when?